Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you, Mr. Hicham, for inviting me, and honored to share the stage with my co-panelists. I will try to give you, of course, my point of view and how, as an experienced professional who lived and worked abroad and studied abroad and came back to Morocco, can give these perspectives, and as well how GLOVO as a company work in order to continue foster this global mobility and continue to develop the Moroccan labor market. I would say the two shifts that we are noticing over the past 5 years, 5 to 10 years, but that accelerated after the COVID is, first of all, like Mr. Hicham said, a lot of Moroccan students used to plan to migrate because the labor market in Morocco is largely dominated by monopolistic companies. So if we take any sector in Morocco, usually a high majority of the business of that sector, okay, the economic value that is generated by that sector is concentrated across a few number of actors, which means that if we have a lot of young professionals, the number of companies that they can apply for is limited. And therefore, lack of choice leads them to find alternatives abroad, okay? Which is completely fair and normal, and everybody would do that. And what we are seeing over the past 5 to 10 years is that we are seeing emerging strong middle market companies. And these middle market companies are adopting, thanks to technology, thanks to learning from best practices from abroad, how to be top companies and compete with the best ones of their industry, but as well to be top employers and start to attract talents, either from abroad or even capturing those talents before they even immigrate. And here, the second shift that we are seeing, so not only now people travel but less, but actually what we saw as well, and it's validated by the studies, is that the standard route for Moroccans who would immigrate, they would lead to director level and then come back. Okay, so they would spend at least 5 years or more after their master's degree. Okay, so that means minimum 10 years abroad. Like in my case, I spent 14 years abroad, so that was the minimum, okay, before coming back. What we are seeing is the second shift is that people still go abroad because they want to study, because they want to experience new things, they want to learn languages, travel the world, have a lot of energy and so on, but they come back sooner. So instead of spending 14 or 10 years abroad, they go for 5 years, they have their first experience, they learn skills, they experience working in a different work environment, and they come back because they find suitable options in Morocco. So I would say these are the two shifts that we are seeing in the Moroccan market.
Okay. So, yeah. So now we can understand that this Moroccan community or like graduates are also preferring Moroccan markets, right? So there is a dynamism, there is an environment in which the local businesses have adjusted to fulfill their needs. So now let's consider another aspect that you are as an employer. There is a specific skill set that you look for. There is a skill set that is demand in the market these days. So what gap do you feel there is between the university and the private sector, in which what kind of skills the students would need, and where is that gap? What should we do to improve upon so that you have a better and more employable graduate?
This is a very good question, because in Morocco we are very strong with technical skills. Okay, students on average in Morocco are good with mathematics, analytics, computer science, all the technical, let's say, studies, and therefore they have strong technical skills. The real world success is how do you translate these technical skills into more softer skills. So how do you actually explain these complicated, complex to businesses or to colleagues or to a client or a prospect when you're selling businesses. So for instance, in GLOVO, we are a tech company. Therefore, we don't struggle to find technical talents. If we need technical coders, developers, or if we need statisticians, analytics, students, or young graduates, we find them. However, where we start to see the gap is how this person is able to translate the work, technical, into meaningful conversations with their colleagues, or they try to sell GLOVO to a prospect, whether it's a brand or a restaurant or a store. And this is where the gap, actually, the first gap that we are seeing is important. And the way we work on it as a company, but as well the way we work on it in partnerships with schools and universities, is we immerse students with projects in the company. We give them projects to work on so they can continue develop their technical skills, but very early on they get confronted to the reality, which is, okay, the technical aspect is great, but now how do I sell this to a non-technical person? Okay, I need to change my language, I need to listen more, I need to share what the person is interested in rather than diving into the technical aspect of things. So giving them the opportunity to work on projects in-house, so in companies. Many companies do that. So this is a great opportunity for students to actually work on that. And the second thing as well is we need to be, as companies, of course, aware of these feedbacks from our market. And that's why we talk a lot with our ecosystem, whether it's our suppliers, partners, clients, and sometimes this is the feedback we get. So the workforce is very technical, but they don't really sometimes understand our needs as prospects, or the suppliers that have their own constraints that we need as a company to listen to. So that's why really being in tune with the ecosystem help us collect these feedbacks and then train our workforce, fresh graduates and even young collaborators to improve basically, and they become the best in class, because if you have the technical skill and on top you're able to explain it to someone who is not technical, I mean, the word is yours.
So it basically boils down to soft skills and interpersonal skills, and we need to build that from the way start in the students during in the university. Okay, now the last area that I want you to give some input on, because you are an experienced, have had lots of experience working. Now there is a huge chunk which is very often ignored, and that is middle management. They are very important people. Basically, they are people of my age, so we are very often ignored. Now the point is that middle management is basically the one who is the bridge between the labor force that is actually executing the task and the top management, which has a vision and a mission. Now in this whole mobility opportunities, the processes, all of us of this age bracket who have adopted to the new technologies, who have better understanding of what's happening, they have also found opportunities in various countries. And does that actually threaten Moroccan businesses in some way, that the middle management is aiming for Europe or US or UK or all those developed regions, or Middle East, for example?
I mean, the answer is undoubtedly yes. But I will give you more insights on how at least my point of view on this. First of all, we are lucky in Morocco. We have a strong, as I said, educated academia, and the middle management is therefore sometimes multilinguists. It's very common to have middle management in Morocco that speak French, English, Arabic. Okay, and now, with all the investments that Morocco is getting, with all the momentum that the Moroccan country is getting across the world, the middle management in Morocco is becoming very popular. And because of the digital solutions, it's very easy for foreign companies to actually connect with the Moroccan labor market and connect with the middle management of established Moroccan companies and attract them because they know they're good. They know they can speak multiple languages, so they can move around easily. They know they're technical as well, so they are a prime target. Okay, so we as Moroccan businesses, we have to find a way to retain and attract more talent and retain the talents in house. And the common traits when we talk with middle management in GLOVO, and I'm sure other companies face it, is usually when you get to middle management positions, you start thinking about your career. You don't think necessarily about just finding a job, but now you found a job, you performed maybe 4 or 5 years in that job, in that company. Now you want to start building a real career. So you need to start planning 5 to 10 years ahead. And most of companies don't, and this is what we do at GLOVO, and we are very proud of that, is that we give this transparency, we give these middle management basically ideas about what their career could look like in 5 to 10 years within the company. And therefore what we do is we map basically the skills of that middle management person that is willing to grow within the company with the roles that are available, and therefore we give them an idea of what this career could look like. And therefore this just gives them already a plan in their mind. Of course, it's not rigid. Life happens in the meantime, okay? Sometimes you have family, you have to change cities, change countries, you want to learn new things. So we have to be flexible, but at the same time give this transparency to the middle management so they can feel engaged with the company.
Thanks a lot, Hicham, for such wonderful insights.